Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Ryan Makes Sense, where we talk about personal finance, investing, and chart analysis. Today, I want to talk to you about how I found Enphase under $1. It all started back in 2012 to about 2015. I was installing renewable energy systems on residential homes, commercial businesses, fields, you name it. That's kind of where I discovered the micro inverters, which were from Enphase. So fast forward to about 2015, 2016, I started actively investing in the stock market. Solar City was the hot new girl on the block who was basically dominating the renewable energy markets in terms of installations. So Solar City and Enphase were the big stocks I started trading out in because that's what I knew. I knew Enphase was probably the number one, number two, number three inverter of choice at the time back in 2015, 2016. We were using them for nearly every project. There were some homes where we were not using the microinverters, we were using the standalone inverters. Um, but those microinverters were insanely popular. That is what basically got me into Enphase. I got super optimistic about Enphase. I started investing in it back when it was 97 cents. Today Enphase is over it's $300, $299. That is a 30,765% gain. If you would have put $1,000 into Enphase and you held it for 6 years, less than 6 years, you would have turned that 1,000 into 308,650 bucks. Not too bad. This also is what kickstarted my interest, my passion into investing. Um, it's companies like this where, they are up and coming, they're going to be the dominant force, and, you want to take advantage. So I have found many companies that have gone from $1 to $100, like Digital Turbine apps. Sol went from $1 to $35. AMD went from two something to now over $100. There's a couple more, but basically the 10 bag, 100 baggers are my preference for investing. Um, what did I do to find this? Well, aside from just knowing Enphase off the top of my head, the other resource I used was Finviz. Let's go ahead and take a look there. All right, so we are currently looking at Finviz. You can find this site at finviz.com. This is probably the most powerful tool on the internet. This is how I found Digital Turbine at 1 before it ran to 100, AMD at 250 before it ran to 100 as well, Sol when it was $1 and ran to 35, so many countless others. Use this site. So from here, we want to look at the screener page. So if we click the screener and then we select all, we're going to be left with all these data points. I think there's about 70 of them. So I do have a video. I have actually several videos. But basically, you want to get accustomed to the FinViz data points to know what gross margin is, long-term debt, insider transactions, institutional transactions, things like that. A lot of important things here that can help you find really good companies. So, how would I have found FinViz if I didn't work in the solar industry? Good question. So, I can go back in time. You can go back in time. I'll put the link to the video right up here, right where my head is up here. Boom, boom, boom. I'll put a link there and show you how you can go back in time. Look at Enphase's financials before it went from $1 to $300. Again, past performance is not indicative of future performance. So Disclaimer there, also I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a random dude. So these are the data points that Enphase had before it started that 30,000% move. The market cap was very small. The quick ratio was at a 0.5, meaning they weren't over leveraged, but they were using some. They were using a healthy, okay amount. There was institutional transactions. There were insider transactions. Those are really good signs. The debt was really low. Excuse me. The target price by analysts had not been hit, so it was under that. So it was underperforming technically. If you look at that, gross margins are at 20%, which is great. Shares outstanding is under 100 million, meaning this stock could really fly if a lot of demand, if there was a demand shock, there would not be much of a supply. So there you go. And growth, the stock has grown 30%. So again, a video will be linked at the top so you can see how I was able to find Enphase, whether I was an installer installing microinverters, or if I was just some curious person who was motivated and wanted to get into investing and find a really good company. So out of this list, I am actually holding one eHealth that I think can go back to 60. It was at 8 less than a week or two ago, and so not quite a 1000% return, but still something to hold long term for continuous gains where, you know, all of these stocks that are showing, all 13, 12 or 13, these all are hitting that same criteria that allowed Enphase to go 30%, or I'm sorry, 30,000%. So do tons of research. I have so many videos on how to do this kind of research. Take some time, invest in your future. But yeah, that was all I had for today's video. I ended up using my Enphase gains to buy my first condo in Oregon, which was great. So that is about it. I wish I would have, well, do I wish I would have held? I don't know. I probably would have sold out after like 5, 10,000%. But you know, that's the power of getting in early and finding really good companies. So I do have quite a few now that I'm in that I think could go 1,000 to 10,000%. Um, but right now they are getting sloshed with the market. So yeah, I highly encourage everyone to, you know, take the time to research, watch my videos, start from the beginning, look at my process at how I monitor these on a monthly basis, you know, how I save the data on a day over day, week over week basis, so we can celebrate the gains together. But thank you all for hanging out with me today. I will see you on the next one. Bye.